I would say for aspiring criminal defense attorneys, for individuals who want to work in this arena, it's a challenging job, but it's also a very rewarding job. It's the type of field where you need to strive for excellence. And early on, as a lawyer, getting out of law school, maybe while you're still in law school even, you need to do everything you can to get experience. Maybe it's working and volunteering in a district attorney's office or a public defender's office to get some real high volume of experience where you're reviewing cases, you're working with people who've tried lots of cases. Smart lawyers, as they're working their way up, they'll watch other people who are very experienced. You find out that there's a serious trial going on, go watch that trial. See the lawyers in action, see how they prepare cases. A true student of criminal law is going to learn from lots of different lawyers throughout the course of their career. When they get the opportunity to actually put in the work and learn themselves, recognizing that it's a growth experience, that you're not going to know everything from day one, but you need to be on a mission in pursuit of excellence. If you truly want to be excellent and take real pride in the work that you do, the field of criminal law is a great field to be into because there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of need for people who are good litigators, who are willing and able to challenge the facts in an intelligent and respectful but albeit effective manner. Our system is better when there are good litigants, people who are trained professionals on both sides in every aspect as it relates to criminal justice. Obviously, when you become a lawyer, you need to have a bachelor's degree first, and then you need to go through law school. You then need to study for and pass the bar. But really, all of those educational requirements are just the beginning. Throughout the course of my career, I've seen the lawyers who made it through school, they passed the bar, and then they thought they arrived. They thought now they knew everything and they could just go practice law. In truth, that's just the beginning. That's just the entry to get into the process by which you learn what the real practice of law is all about. In order to be a true, excellent lawyer as it relates to criminal defense work, you need to be a trial lawyer. You need to get into the courtroom. You need to test out your theories. You can't just read a police report and a case and know what a case is worth. You have to test out those theories. You need to know that, hey, sometimes when you question a police officer in court, you're going to learn additional information that wasn't contained in the police report. And sometimes that type of information can be helpful to your client. You need to learn that sometimes it's important to go through and listen to a recording because what you can hear on the recording might be different than what it says in a police report. That is doing our system of justice a favor. It's not that we think all law enforcement is bad or that police officers are all corrupt, but they're certainly human, just like the rest of us. And we, as criminal defense attorneys, provide the accountability necessary to make police officers do their job better. And if there is a police officer who's doing things the wrong way, to hold them accountable. I think some of the things that made me successful in becoming a criminal defense attorney are, one, I happen to be lucky in the sense that I got into a field where my particular skill sets really matched the profession that I was in. I see some types of persons and we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and there are some people who get into particular fields where it's not really a natural fit. For me, my natural strengths were things such as communicating with people, talking with people. I empathize with people, and it may have been victims when I was a prosecutor, being able to talk to people and recognize some of the things they experienced, and also as a defense attorney, representing clients and seeing the humanity and the issues that they have to go through and face, recognizing the frustration someone has when they've been wrongfully accused of something they didn't do, and they feel like the whole world has already prejudged them and has already found them guilty. And so having the ability to talk to people, to humanize with people, and to advocate, to be a strong communicator on their behalf, those have been skill sets of mine that have served me well in my practice of law. And I think if someone is going to be a trial lawyer, it's good to figure out what your strength is and to really use that in the best way possible to represent your clients as best as you can. I would have spent even more time in law school, interning, volunteering in different criminal justice organizations. I knew I wanted to be a trial lawyer. I knew I wanted to be in the courtroom. And I spent time working on public speaking and kind of honing those skills. But if I would have gone back in time, I would have volunteered at a district attorney's office, a public defender's office, and started to get that experience earlier on. Instead, what I did is once I got my first job, I had to learn a lot of that stuff from day one, and it was starting all over again. And I've seen other people who started that law in law school, and I think that gave them an edge, so that when they passed the bar and they first became a lawyer, they already kind of had a background and a really good idea as to what was involved in being a prosecutor, being involved as a defense attorney in the criminal justice system. Criminal justice, it's interesting because there's a lot of jobs in the field of criminal justice. There's an ebb and a flow. There have been times where it just seemed like their public agencies, district attorney offices, public defenders could not hire enough people. At the end of the day, if someone is a talented lawyer and you know what you want to do, you want to be in the field of criminal justice, you want to make a difference in people's lives, there will be opportunities. Maybe you have to work a little harder depending upon the job market at any particular point in time, which goes up and down. But the reality is there's always going to be a need for defense attorneys, for lawyers in general in the criminal justice field, because it involves people. And it involves people, unfortunately, that at times are going through the worst moments of their lives. And they will always need lawyers who are willing to sit down, to figure out what the facts are, to figure out what the best defenses are to a particular set of facts, and to provide the best advice and counsel to the clients as they can. What I look for in someone is what I would view as the intangibles. There are sometimes people who graduate from top schools, and that's impressive, and it's certainly something that I value because it shows that they have intelligence and they have aptitude in order to get to that point. But there's also intangibles that go along with someone's persona in general. And it might be their attitude, it might be who they are as a teammate to work with, it might be their work ethic and things like that. And if I know someone is a hard worker, if I know they're intelligent, if I know they're someone who's a good team player, that really covers a lot of the bases. And I feel like that's someone who, if they're personable, if they have a real interest in working in this field of law, I know that I can mold that person into a valuable member of the team here at Walsh Law.